Welcome to the ASMR Horror Podcast, where your spine will tingle and your senses will be heightened in our immersive 5.1 surround sound high-definition experience. I am your guide through the realm of eerie tales, Mr. Savage, and tonight, we embark on a journey into the depths of the unknown. Brace yourselves as we delve into spine-chilling stories that will resonate through every inch of your being, creating an atmosphere so vivid you'll feel the whispers of shadows and the echoes of the supernatural. So, dim the lights, settle into your favorite chair, and let the ASMR Horror Podcast transport you to the edge of your imagination, where fear becomes an intimate companion. In the vast expanse of the country, a family embarked on a journey that would lead them to the most unusual and unsettling experience of their lives. I was just 16 at the time, and my sister, who was accompanying us, was 20. The road stretched out before us under the blanket of the night sky, and our trusty car hummed along the interstate. Despite the late hour, we were wide awake and alert. Days of restful sleep and the excitement of the open road kept us energized. However, as the miles rolled by, the need for gas and a bathroom break became inevitable. The only rest stop within the next 200 miles beckoned to us like an oasis in the darkness. As we pulled into the rest stop, a peculiar unease settled over us. The air seemed to thicken with an inexplicable tension. A van full of teenagers on a road trip occupied the gas station, struggling with a malfunctioning pump. To our front, a small gray car was parked at the pump, and two young men stood beside it, eerily still. The atmosphere shifted, and an unsettling feeling washed over us. We had been on the road for days, encountering various rest stops at night, but this one was different. My mom and sister decided to head inside for a quick break, leaving me alone in the car. The air outside seemed charged with an unnatural stillness. From my vantage point, I observed the group of teenagers at the gas station, muttering about feeling creeped out, abandoning their refueling attempt and hastily departing. My attention then turned to the small gray car in front of us. The two young men beside it hadn't budged, frozen in place like statues. No words were exchanged, and they weren't engaged with their phones. It was as if time had come to a standstill around them. My sister and mom returned in a hurry, sensing the eerie atmosphere. As they entered the car, the two men slowly turned to fixate their gaze on us. The strangeness intensified when we all saw it simultaneously, their eyes, dark as the deepest night, devoid of any light, resembling an endless void. It was a sight that sent shivers down our spines and left an indelible mark on our memories. Without wasting a moment, my mom slammed the car into gear, and we sped away from that unsettling place. The tires screeched against the asphalt, leaving the mysterious rest stop behind us. We didn't stop until we reached the next city, the glow of urban lights bringing a semblance of normalcy and safety. The lingering fear, however, was not easily shaken off. When we attempted to pinpoint the exact location of the rest stop on maps, both digital and paper, our efforts were in vain. It was as if the place had vanished into thin air. Even inquiries with the locals about the creepy gas station yielded only confused looks. The once familiar stretch of road had become a ghost, and subsequent travels on that interstate revealed no trace of the mysterious rest stop. And so, the tale of the Unrest Stop became a chilling chapter in our family's journey, a night when the ordinary turned extraordinary, and the road unfolded an enigma that defied explanation. Before we plunge deeper into this thrilling story, may I request you to show your unwavering support by tapping that like button and smashing the subscribe button with unbridled enthusiasm. Your actions hold the key to unleashing a torrent of more exhilarating, spine-chilling tales. Join us in this journey of suspense and excitement, and let's create an unstoppable force of storytelling together. Now, let us continue. In the dead of night, my friends and I found ourselves cruising through the eerie silence of a massive graveyard in my friend's ancient Subaru. The car, worn and battered, echoed the solemn stillness that surrounded us. As we navigated the winding paths, tombstones stood like silent sentinels, their shadows casting ominous shapes on the uneven ground. We decided to park the car and explore on foot, drawn towards a gentle slope that led us to a small pond. On the opposite side, a mysterious figure perched on a rock, shrouded in absolute darkness. The only discernible detail was an old-style top hat that adorned the shadowy silhouette. Perhaps naively, we waved and called out a cheerful greeting, but the figure remained motionless, a silent guardian in the moonlit night. Suddenly, without warning, the shadowy figure leaped to its feet, darting across the water towards us, defying the laws of nature. Panic seized us, and we scrambled back to the car, our hearts pounding in our chests. The figure reached the midpoint of the pond and vanished into the depths, leaving us bewildered and terrified. The unsettling experience escalated as we returned to the Subaru. The engine refused to roar to life, leaving us stranded in the graveyard's desolate silence. A rhythmic banging echoed from the back of the car, disrupting the stillness of the night. It wasn't a constant noise, but occurred sporadically, each bang sending shivers down our spines. Stranded and unnerved, I reached for my phone, hoping to summon help. To our dismay, we discovered that none of our phones had any service. In the dim light, we frantically tried to troubleshoot the car, desperately attempting to bring it back to life. The minutes felt like an eternity as the unsettling pressure around us intensified. As we toiled with the car, the banging ceased, but an unshakable heaviness hung in the air. It was as if unseen eyes were watching, unseen hands reaching out to grasp at the edges of our reality. The sense of isolation deepened, and an oppressive atmosphere settled upon us. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the engine roared to life. Fear gripped us, urging my friend to slam the pedal to the metal. The tires screeched against the graveyard's gravel paths as we raced towards the exit gates. The haunting silence of the graveyard released its grip on us, and as we crossed the threshold, an unsettling revelation struck. Our phones regained their cell service instantly. The graveyard, with its ominous shadows and silent tombstones, had held something beyond the realms of the living. We were certain it was not an ordinary encounter with an animal or a human. The unexplainable figure, the inexplicable banging, the sudden restoration of cell service, all pointed to an otherworldly presence that had momentarily crossed paths with our own. As we sped away from the graveyard, The echoes of that fateful night lingered in our minds, a ghostly reminder of the inexplicable and the supernatural that lurked beyond the veil of our understanding. The beat-up Subaru carried us away, leaving the graveyard behind, but the memories of that haunting night remained etched in our collective consciousness, a tale of the inexplicable and the unexplained. The end. Thank you once more for tuning in. I trust you thoroughly enjoyed tonight's narrative. Until our next encounter, remain with us exclusively at Mr. Savage's ASMR Horror Podcast.